Hey, I'm Ross with Sky Management, and today I wanted to walk you through how to install a Schlage Smart lock. These aren't that hard to do. They're not that much different than a regular lock, except for the programming part of it. So I can walk you through all the parts of it, and we'll go from there. This is everything that comes with a Schlage Encode. I prefer the Encode because it does not require a separate piece to make it the Wi-Fi friendly. The Sense requires a box that you plug into the wall near your lock somewhere that allows it to connect to your smart home devices. This one does not require that, so I prefer the Encode. It does come with everything you see here. This is the thumb switch for the inside, the punch pad for the outside, the bolt itself, the hardware to connect everything, and then several user manuals in different languages and such. This will be the English one. What I do and don't like about this lock is that it is Wi-Fi friendly and it's very easy to use with the app. The one thing that I don't like is that the pad doesn't have actual buttons. So if you're fumbling for it in the dark, it's a little bit hard to see, but as soon as you push one of the buttons, the whole thing lights up. I have one of these on the front door of my house and I was going to add one to my shop, so that's what we're going to do today. The Schlage lock comes with a rounded corner plate on the bolt part. It is important to use the bolt piece that comes with the Schlage Smart locks because it's a tapered bolt. Let me see if I can stick it out. The bolt is tapered at the end, which helps it push its way in there in case the door isn't quite lined up right. So you'll need to use the one that comes with it. The door I'm putting this on has a squared plate instead of a rounded plate hole, so we're going to switch it out to the square plate. This does come with the lock. They come with that piece in case your door is made that way. To change it out, you take a screwdriver and you stick it in this little slot right here and kind of pry the two pieces apart. The front piece will pop off the back piece and you'll reuse that same back plate with the new one. So the first step in installing your new lock is to determine what size door you have with your bolt. There are two sizes of thickness between the edge of the door and the hole. By twisting the back piece of the bolt, you can extend it to the long version or the short version. This is going to be a short version. We've got our square plate on the front of here to match the square hole in the door. There is a top and bottom to this, so you want where it says top to go up toward the top, of course. You slide it in there, kind of tap it in. Then you'll need a Phillips head screwdriver and the two shorter, the little short screws is what holds these in. You can use a power screwdriver. I've already got holes made in this one, so I'll probably just use this hand one. The next piece we're going to be putting on is the outside punch pad panel. And to secure it on, you use this little metal plate. Now on the back of the plate, you can see where it says against the door. That's going to go on the inside of your door, up against it. When you're feeding this through, there's a little notch on this piece right here. That goes up with this thing flat. So you'll have it flat horizontally with the little notch up, and you slide it through the bolt. You also need to make sure to get the wire through. Once I get mine on, I'll hold the camera up here. So you can see the pin comes through there horizontally with the little notch sticking up, and then the wire feeds through this little square hole on the bottom left. With this inside plate is oriented with the top facing the top, obviously, and it should look just like that. Now we're going to put two bolts through right there and there to hold these two together, and they're the big longer bolts. The big bolts like this are what holds this back plate on. You should feed in there straight, and you'll screw them in with a Phillips head screwdriver, like so. It should go pretty easy. Be careful not to cross thread them. Then the next step is going to be putting the back plate with the thumb screw on. The back plate goes on next. First thing, you need to remove the battery cover. Then you need to plug in the plug on the back of this to that one on the front. You have to orient this little slot in the back of this hole to where it's the same as the flat peg coming through there. And slide it in, and that should line everything up. There were two screws that came in a separate little bag. They're the small bolts. Look like this. They're what holds on this back piece. And you'll take a Phillips head screwdriver for those. Your next step is to replace the catch in the frame. This plate here where the bolt goes in there, the ones for the non-smart locks, the non-automatic locks, are smaller. So you're gonna need to change it out for the larger one. That helps the bolt slide in there more freely. And for that, you wanna use these long screws because they're better for security reasons. These screws will get it into that stud behind there. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch that out. You may have to widen this cutout here. Like I'm gonna have to chisel mine out a little bit to fit this in there. The last step in the hardware install is to put the batteries in. It does come with batteries. The battery compartment is on this back part. You've already removed the cover a little bit ago. You just slide out the battery compartment, put the batteries in there the way that they say to go, and then we'll be ready to program it. Programming your new Schlage lock now that it is installed is extremely easy, but you will need to download the Schlage app. Your Schlage app will look like this when you first open it up, and adding a new lock, you push the little lock plus up on the corner. It'll ask which kind of smart lock you got. I prefer the Encode, that's what we just installed, because it does not require the separate device to connect to your Wi-Fi. So you click on that. Down here it says, yes, it's already installed. So you click there and it will show you where to scan on the lock. The barcode is located underneath the battery cover. So you lift the battery cover off and it shows the little pixelated square to scan. When you scan that, it is going to ask for your Wi-Fi password and such so that it can connect to your Wi-Fi. It is important to note that the Wi-Fi needs to be a decent signal where the lock is. That's going to depend on your home setup, but you got to have it close enough to your router that it can connect. And then once it connects, it'll ask you for your passcodes that you want to put in there, and it'll hold a bunch of passcodes for you if you want everybody to have their own. And then it will send you notifications on who unlocks the door and whatnot, and you can unlock and lock it from your phone. I think these are great. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.